We're going to talk about the BMW Run and Ride for Pieta. A group of us in Team OTB are taking on alongside BMW and Triathlon Ireland on Friday, the 17th of July, which is fairly imminent now. It's Friday week. We're going to be completing a duathlon, which is run, cycle and run again, supporting Pieta House, and is proudly supported by BMW Ireland. We're about to kick off week 5 of our 6-week training programme, and it all ends with live coverage of the duathlon right here on OTB AM on Friday the 17th of July. You didn't do it so you could stay in studio and present the show. Is that what happened, Owen? That's how this all happened?
Took one for the team.
Why did you slither away from this? Why could you not do it?
Oh, I don't know. I can't be bothered, to be totally honest with you, but thank you for representing the team.
I mean, you know, it would have given your life a bit much needed focus over the last while.
A bit more meaning is what you're saying? Are you saying I lack meaning, direction?
Trying to help you out, you know? Like, we all need a little jump start sometimes, a bit of coaching along the way. You could have... It's not too late, really.
I feel like I should be lying down in a therapist's chair while having this question.
No, that's different. That's like, that's prescriptive. This is coaching. There's a difference. This is helpful.
What are your qualifications?
You could do it. You could still do it. You could definitely... I mean, it's actually going to be grand. You're a runner anyway, right? Are you?
I've given away my bike, and I was a runner there until I went on holidays, and I stopped running for a couple of weeks. So, this is going to be a great opportunity for you, for the whole team, to go out there and enjoy yourself while I keep the show on the road from the studio. We've
been checking in with various coaches and experts over the last few weeks from Triathlon Ireland to help us along the way. But up next, we're going to be joined by Kavannagh and her son Shane from the Athy Triathlon Club, who are both taking part in the BMW Run and Ride for Pieta, and we're going to hear how they're getting on as well. Before that, though, I do want to bring you our Saturday panel clip from Anya O'Gorman, Eric Donovan, who I was just talking about there, and rugby player Ian Nagel all joined you, Owen, to talk about taking breaks in the middle of their sporting careers. Here's Anya O'Gorman about the balancing act of trying to play football and live a normal life.
Looking at your friends going on leaving cert holidays and you're unable to do so because of sporting commitments, does that change as you get older? Do you look at, I don't know, family occasions or social occasions and feel that envy as well, or did that dissipate over time?
Like, I don't think at the time when I didn't go on a 6-year holiday, it was a big problem for me, because my focus was just on playing football, and that's all I wanted to do. But I think as you get older, then you do start to miss out things. And I think obviously the professional players are in a different boat, but us as amateurs playing in Ireland, we're obviously trying to juggle work and playing at that high level and trying to be an elite athlete. So that's a massive, massive commitment. And previous to the last few years, like, we were taking unpaid days leave off work, and eventually does take its toll on you as well, and you're missing out on these family occasions, and then you kind of take a step back and look and reflect, and you're kind of just thinking, what direction is my life going after football as well. And I think that's something that you don't really consider when you're younger. What am I going to do when after football, after all these commitments, taking all these days off? Like, you need to try and buy a house, get a mortgage, just little things like that as well, that we're not lucky to be in the same boat that maybe our male counterparts are in England, that they're earning huge and massive amount of money that might set them up for after. But I think sometimes that they do fall over come across them barriers as well, going over a young age without their education. So yeah, it's just a massive balancing act, I think.
That's Anya Gorman on the Saturday panel there, and you could actually see Eric Donovan right beside her as well. So you should subscribe to that on the OTB Sports app. Now, I'm delighted to say Karen Kavannagh is with us, who's partaking in the duathlon. Karen, how are you getting on? What's the crack?
I'm good. Good to talk to you, Ger.
How far along are you? Because I know people join this at different stages. Are you doing yours next week as well?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm just going into weeks 5 of it, so
right.
2 weeks left.
Right. And have you been good in following the actual prescribed? Have you done the run and cycle on the same day yet?
I have. I followed the program from the last 4 weeks. So last week we had to put the run and the cycle together, and so I did that, the 5k run and the 10k bike together. And then this week we have to do the 15k bike and the 5k run after it. So that is always more difficult, coming off the bike and into the run. The legs are like jelly. So this will probably be more challenging this week.
Have you? Go on, yeah.
Yeah, I've probably been lucky that I have done a good few duathlons before. And so I was kind of a bit practiced before about duathlon, so I do know what those jelly legs feel like. and hopefully a few brick sessions like cycle run sessions do help get rid of those jelly legs and do prepare you to go out onto the run.
So look, as you know, we're novices to this. Explain what's a brick session.
A brick session is a run, cycle, run, cycle, run. So maybe you just go out for a short run,
right?
Maybe a 1.5K run, and then maybe do a 5K bike, and then maybe a 1.5K run and 5K bike, and just keep practicing maybe 3 of each. And it's fantastic. It does help getting off the bike onto the run, because you think you come off the bike and you think the legs will move for you, but sometimes they won't do what you want them to do. But if you practice it a bit, it does get easier. The jelly legs, to be honest, when you're coming off the bike. Even if you're going out for a cycle anytime, I'd always try to, when I come back from even a long cycle, go out for maybe a 1K run straight after a 500-meter run. It just would help get rid of the jelly legs. Even taking part in a duathlon or a triathlon, either, when you come off the bike, it will help.
Have you done triathlon before then?
Yeah, no, I'm a member of a Thai triathlon club, so I have been doing triathlons for a good few years now. Okay, just always wanted to just get to the finish line. Wouldn't be winning medals or on the podium or anything, but just really enjoying the sport and enjoying the competitive aspect and also the social aspect of it as well.
Yeah, the social aspect was something that we didn't really fully appreciate until we were down in Dunmore East and kind of saw exactly just the crowd having the crack afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you there, Gerard, down there. I saw the 2 teams down there. You were brilliant, and your speech afterwards was fantastic as well. I took part in that triathlon. Dunmore East is a brilliant triathlon to do. And you very well run by.
You finished the whole thing on your own as opposed to like me.
I did. I got to the finish line, and that's all I hope to do every time. Just get to the finish line and enjoy it with a smile on your face.
It must be an amazing feeling to actually. When was the first one you actually completed? Was it Tri-Thai?
Tri-Thai, yeah. That would have been my first introduction. I'd never seen a triathlon until I've seen Tri-Thai, and then I looked at it one year and I said, next year I'm going to give that a go. And I probably shouldn't have really been in the river. I really got into the river for the first time in the day. But anyway, we got through it all. And I remember I would have been into GAA in that. And I remember my first triathlon taking part. Louth, I think, were playing Kildare that evening. And I remember it was on a Saturday and had white and red bunting out of my hybrid bike and finishing the bike on it. But really enjoyed it. And since then a Thai triathlon club were formed. Well, before that, maybe about 10 years ago, and I joined that club with my husband. My husband did a triathlon with me that year as well. And since then, 10 years, we're at it now and really, really enjoying it. And our kids are at it as well. My son Shane and my daughter Chloe are at it as well. Shane is 15 and Chloe is 13. It's
funny, you've obviously kind of seen the explosion in growth over that period of time. And actually, you're part of the explosion in growth. And I think just how you've talked about it there explains why the sport has gone from being quite niche to actually very mainstream now, is that whole families can do it.
Oh, it's very accessible now. I have to say, I would highly recommend it. It's just a fantastic family sport. And what we're missing most probably during these difficult times are triathlon race days out, where you could be all over the country at some beach, lake, river. And it's a small community as well. You've got to know a lot of people, and our kids have made many friends, and my husband and I have as well, and just really enjoy the competitive and the social aspect. And I'd have to congratulate now Duathlon Ireland as well. Even during these strange times, they've kept the triathlon community extremely active, right since March, online with kukri demonstrations, Pilates, core workouts, strength workouts, and then we're doing Turbo on Zoom, which has been fantastic. We have 2 adult turbo sessions weekly led by Gary Crossan, Leinster Triathlon Ireland Development Officer. And then the juniors, our kids have had 4 junior turbo sessions a week as well.
Right.
So that's been fantastic, so it has as well.
Yeah, I think
it's good interaction.
You've got your son Shane with you as well.
Yeah, I have, yeah. Will I bring him into you,
Yeah,
Ger?
please, yeah.
Okay.
Hey Shane, how are you?
Well, I'm good. How are you?
Who's the fastest in the house?
Oh, I think that'll have to be me.
It's not competitive. Your mum says it's not competitive, but you're 15, so of course it's competitive, right?
Oh yeah, it has to be.
When was your first one?
Must have been
when you were 8, 9, 6 years ago, I think so.
Yeah, about 6 years ago.
Right. And so, like, really young. And would that have been tri-thigh? Were you getting in the river?
Oh no, too young. I was too young for that then.
No, his first involvement, how we got involved, was after my husband and I did our first triathlon. We were involved for 2 or 3 years, and then we saw this advertisement on Triathlon Ireland, a parent and child training session in Dublin, maybe in November, about 6 years ago. And the four of us went along to the training session and really enjoyed it. Gary Crossan was giving that training session. Another few families were there as well. And since then, that's how our kids, isn't that right, Shane?
Yeah.
Do you remember that first session, Shane?
Yeah. I do, yeah.
Kabir, what distance are you doing then, Shane? Are you doing the sprint? Or have you done the longer one? What's your dream about, like, ultimately, what do you want to do?
Eventually I'd like to complete an Ironman. So this would have been my first year doing a sprint. And just try age now.
Right, so the duathlon's kind of perfect then as well, because you can...
Yeah.
And how are you finding the training?
That's tough, but sure, I get through it. It's a good feeling when you have it done.
It is, isn't it? Karen, you're giving me a little bit of confidence that we're all going to be able to do this. I think that's a great idea about the brick training.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone can do it. Sure, anyone. To be honest, you're only against yourself, and you can go as easy as you want, as hard as you want. So everyone, even if you had to walk some of it, you'll all get to the finish line.
Yeah, the bit where you're saying you're only against yourself, we've stupidly made it where we're actually having a competition amongst ourselves as well. And that's the bit that I'm most worried about, is that suddenly we're going to get there and we're going to see people and we're going to go off too fast. That's my one concern, is that in the crowd, we'll lose our minds.
Yeah. No, always in the run, that's always the problem. Everyone starts off too fast. No, pace yourself and go off slower. You have to have a bike, and then the last run is always tough.
Yeah, not looking forward to that.
Mentally tough for the last run, but no, just keep thinking of the finish line, and you cannot beat that finish line. No matter how much pain you are during it, you'll never regret it.
Well, listen, you're an inspiration to us both. Best of luck, and look, 2 more weeks to go, and then we're all going to be doing this. So, Karen, Cavan and Shane, thanks a million for joining us this morning. A reminder that it is the BMW Run and Ride for Pieta, proudly sponsored by BMW Ireland, and we're in week 5 of 6. The training plan this week is a 7k run on one day, and then a separate day, it's a 15k cycle and a 5k run on the same day. The BMW Run and Ride for Pieta is taking place on Friday the 17th of July. We're going to be broadcasting our duathlon run live on OTB AM this morning. And still, Owen, quietly there, skulking away in the background, feeling guilty.
I think we neglected to mention, like, it's good that you mentioned the pints after the triathlon in Dunmore East last year, but you didn't mention the pints the night before the triathlon last year as well, which is a key component of, getting a few more bits of nutrition sorted before setting out. How are you fixed for it?
The cycling is grand. I did the cycle that, do you remember the first night we went cycling? We went up the Howth, the hill in Howth. Yeah,
I'll probably never forget it.
Well, it turns out that's like 40 kilometres that we did that night, because I like properly put it on Strava. And I didn't do the bit around the corner at the top because I was too tired. But you did that. Did you do it twice?
Yeah, but then I went to like Primavera Music Festival in Barcelona the following week, and that was me done. I'm never quite. I don't think my calves have quite recovered from that night ever.
It's like the Col de Isward. It's like what? I'd never been up there on the bike before, and I went at the weekend, and so. Not feeling the best at the moment.
So you actually went back up the mountain since?
Yeah, well, for the first time ever since, yeah.
Congratulations.
And I didn't stop this time. That was the first time I've done that. So, look, you get there, The running is going to be an issue, but sure. It turns out we've been inspired this morning. 087 918 180 is the number here if you want to get in touch with us this morning. Use the hashtag OTB AM and stay tuned to our various social accounts to find out how we're doing with our run and ride for Pieta, sponsored by BMW Ireland. We're back with Shane Hannon, then we're going to hear from Anthony Moyles about the club versus county.